Right now, we're watching a very tense situation as the Mosquito Fire in Placer and El Dorado counties is flaring up on both the western edge as well as the eastern edge. Live pictures right here. This is near Foresthill, and there are concerns right now for the community of Foresthill. Let's get right to CBS 13's Madison Keevy, who is there live. Madison, tell us what you're seeing right now from where you are.
Yeah, so Curtis, I'm standing in the parking lot of Wharton's Market. We've used this as a kind of reference point for you. I'm the voice from above because I want to show you what I'm looking out on here at the edge of the parking lot. You can see kind of this huge plume of smoke that's just developed within the last hour. When we got to this site, the sky was clear. There was a little bit of white smoke in the distance, and how quickly things have changed as the winds have picked up here. We're along Foresthill Road. I've asked for about a mile from where I'm standing in the parking lot again of Wharton's to where you see that smoke billowing up there. You know, this is what was predicted when winds were entered into the forecast today. You know, those slightly stronger southwest winds have brought in drier air, then add to it this rugged terrain with fuels that are historically dry, and you see why we're getting this kind of pickup of fire activity. Again, this was what was projected today. We've had a kind of a head, as they call it, here of the Mosquito Fire, and then there are a couple other spots that you'll see flames move up as the winds shift. The winds are picking up here. As even I'm talking, you can see that there in the distance. 300 more personnel added to this fire since yesterday, and really trying to do some of that proactive bulldozing here to keep this from moving any further. But again, you know, it's moving up a lot of these ridges that you see because heat rises, and that's what we're seeing play out right in front of us right now. Again, this has developed in the last hour, really the last 45 minutes. Again, when we pulled up, it was very clear in the sky, like you see sort of beyond the plume, and it has really just picked up as the wind has. So we're just kind of trying to show you that again from the parking lot of Wharton's Market here. You know, you can see in the distance we got a lot of CAL FIRE crews kind of monitoring this from afar and watching this as it's growing. But again, you know, the winds are really the game changer. This is a dynamic fire, and it's been described as, of course, not over. We're talking about 18% containment, and these winds, even ever so subtle, can really make a big difference, Curtis. I mean, we've seen this on many fires before. Dry conditions, a little bit of wind, and you see what's right in front of you.
Absolutely. So, Madison, you're located on the western side of Foresthill, and if I understand correctly, your camera is trained right to the southeast, where there's a canyon there just below Foresthill, and that's where we're seeing this flare up.
Yeah, that's correct, Curtis. And you can see even now as the winds have shifted there, those flames that are coming up. Again, this has picked up within the last hour. On the other side of those flames, you know, we've got the river. The American River there. So the winds and smoke are kind of moving in the Tahoe direction, just to give our viewers an idea of where things stand, because when you look out, it's sort of hard to tell where we're at until you start kind of piecing it together on a map, because right now the smoke in the air, you really can't point to a ridge to be confident unless you know where you're standing.
It's a pretty intense situation. Earlier, it looked like things were just progressing on the eastern flank of this fire, but this flare up to the west really does threaten the communities on the western edge of this fire, which includes Foresthill as well as the Todd Valley. What are people saying where you're standing right now as they look at this?
Yeah, I mean, people who are standing here, many are, of course, you know, part of this firefight, have been paying very close attention to the weather, and they knew that this is what winds would bring. There's not a ton of surprise in that respect of it, but even just, you know, watching it play out, there's still a lot of wow, people taking out their phones, because we've had some of those water drops with both helicopters and, of course, the fixed wing airplanes that have come through here about every 5 minutes. We We haven't, since I've started talking, we have not seen one come through, but I can hear them in the distance getting more water. So, it's just a very active scene. But again, these are all very trained individuals, and they've been keeping that forecast very close to them. And the winds we knew today would be the issue to, yes, clear out the smoke, but also add oxygen to this fire. And that is just fuel, giving it something fresh to feed on. And